It doesn't matter whether you like him. It doesn't matter whether you dislike him. What matters is whether he is a danger to the country, because he will do it again. And none of us can have confidence, based on his record, that he will not do it again, because he is telling us every day that he will.
California Congressman Adam Schiff led the first impeachment of then-President Trump over his withholding military aid to Ukraine and attempting to pressure that country into announcing an investigation into Trump's political rival, Joe Biden. After repeatedly sounding the alarm about Trump's behaviors if left in office and if never held accountable, Congressman Schiff played a pivotal role in the January 6th investigation in Congress and Trump's role in it all. Joining us now is a man who has been telling us this was coming for a long time, California Congressman Adam Schiff, lead impeachment manager for the first impeachment, former member of the January 6th investigation. Sir, thanks for being with us tonight. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Let me just ask you your top-line reaction to this news. At one level, this is a relatively run-of-the-mill white-collar crime indictment that we believe is about to be unsealed in New York in coming days. On the other hand, this is history. It's the first time a former president has faced criminal charges of any kind.
It is, a sad and sobering historic day in the life of our country. The first time a president was indicted for criminal charges. It is also, I think, a vindication of the rule of law and the principle that people should be held accountable, whether they're rich and powerful, whether they're presidents or former presidents, or whether they're ordinary citizens, that prosecutors should follow the evidence. And if someone needs to go to jail because they were directed in a criminal scheme, then the person that did the directing should also be held to account. But at the same time, it is worrying to see once again Donald Trump engage in inciting his supporters, essentially threatening death and destruction if he were indicted, as he has now been. And it demonstrates, I think, the continuing peril to the country. I would just say it would be more perilous if we didn't observe the rule of law, if we bred disrespect for the law, if we treated him differently. That would be more dangerous. And so this is necessary. But obviously, it's a momentous and tragic day.
Do you have anything by way of lessons learned as somebody who has been personally targeted by Trump and his supporters because of your efforts in trying to hold him accountable and trying to investigate things that he's been involved in? I mean, you and all the January 6th committee members all ended up having to get security during that investigation and during Trump's response to that investigation. You've been through several rounds of this as sort of Trump's public enemy number one in various instances. Any lessons learned for a whole new batch of Americans who's about to go through that same process?
Well, I don't know whether this is a lesson learned, but it is certainly a cause for great concern. And that is, it's one thing for members of the Congress who are used to being in the public eye to acclimate to being the subject of a violent threat and dangers and risks. It's going to be very much another thing for an ordinary citizen of New York who gets selected to sit on this jury. And I do worry about the extraordinary pressure that those ordinary citizens doing their duty will face. And obviously, every effort will be made to protect them. It's tragic that is necessary in this country. But, while it began with threats to members of Congress, we now see school board members threatened. We see city council members and county supervisors simply for doing their job. And now we will likely see jurors who are also the subject of threats. And so anticipating that, we need to take steps to protect everyone. And we also, I think, need to get across the message, let the courts decide this. This isn't a cause for celebration on the one hand. It's not a cause, it never is, for violence on the other. We will get through this, but we're going to have to be careful.
California Congressman Adam Schiff, lead impeachment manager in the first of Trump's two impeachments, member of the January 6th investigation. Sir, thank you for your time. Really appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you.